juncture and ask, Mark, at one point, 1992, Kenyans rose up with one voice. We stood up and pointed a way forward. It happened again around 1 decade later, the year 2002, where everybody literally was behind the President Mwai Kibaki at that point. What will it take for us to be at that point again, even in the face of everything else that we can see being said and done?
There's a saying in the Bible that says, when we mistake good for evil and evil for good.
Yes.
If you're going to change a country, you need an example of that change. The issue here is that we have one party that is saying your brand of nepotism is bad for us, so we want to bring in our brand of nepotism. Your brand of corruption is not good for us, so we want to bring in our brand of corruption. Now, the problem there is you cannot choose what is the greater good for Kenya. The second issue that is there is you've got two philosophies of handling the issues of Kenya. There's philosophy number one, which is called sweep things under the rug. We've got roads, we've got houses, we've got free education. Let's not deal with the past.
Yes.
Then there's the other side, which is completely obsessed with the past. Now, the problem with that is you can never come to a consensus unless you agree that in your thinking there is a mistake and in their thinking there is a mistake. And together we can bridge those gaps. And this is where the problem lies. The problem lies in a NASA establishment which believes it's absolutely right, forgetting that in 2007, when we did the report from Judge Kriegler, we found that both PNU and ODM at the time had participated in electoral fraud.
Yes.
Let's be honest. So let's not imagine that suddenly ODM, rebranded NASA today, is the angel and Jubilee is the devil. It cannot be true. And when we understand that we as a country are participating in what we call moral fraud, where we are trying to pretend that this lady we've brought before Jesus is guilty of adultery and we are the innocent ones.
Yes.
Well, the reality is that both of these entities have issues that they need to sort.
Yes.
So how do we solve these issues? As a country, we need to stop. We need to stop escalating the tensions that we are escalating unnecessarily, because the Constitution is not broken. And this is what I mean. Yes. Number one, the Constitution involves within itself the ability to devolve power, meaning inclusivity, and also has set rules by which the president must appoint cabinet and the civil service. If we were to stick to the same document that we've all agreed to, Kenya's problem would be reduced. But the problem is we are dealing between facts and the imaginations of the abused. What do I mean? That it is in the imagination of a lot of people that if Moi came from Baringo, then Baringo should be the richest county today. And yet Baringo is one of the poorest. We imagine that since Uhuru Kenyatta comes from Gatundu, every project starts in Gatundu, which is not true. Now, the reality of the matter is does Kenya need improvement? Yes, it does. Is it improving? Yes, it is. By any measure of societal indicators, we are improving. Therefore, we need to appreciate the fact that we are improving, and then we also need to appreciate that there's the need to agitate for better. Now, the only time you step out of the Constitution to agitate for better is if constitutional mechanisms are not working. But the truth of the matter is this, that governorships are working, the county assemblies are working, the national parliament is working, the Senate is working. There is space within those institutions for a structured opposition. The opposition has not been stopped to operate in parliament or otherwise. Allow me to finish. And therefore, for me, it is wrong for us as a country to step out of the Constitution to try and fix something that's not broken by creating a crisis that does not exist. Are there problems? Yes. Are they at crisis level? No. And that is why we cannot stand here and pretend to say that the actions of Raila Odinga are not an attempt at anarchy. They are. Are there issues? Yes. But has it gotten to the point where we need to get there? No.